As we all know, and even the fly on your wall knows at this point, the Greek God of War games are all getting remastered.
It has been long since our kind waited for the one destined to
Remastered. Hide it all you want, Santa Monica, but we all already know. Oh, you think Mournville was finally speaking in his video? No.
Yes?
It's not really him. This is Micromillions. If you watched his previous Q&A video, you may know me since he read my comment first,
First question by Micromillions.
with his bullshit opinion on liking Ifrit Magic the most in the entire God of War franchise. Which, I mean, seriously? And then I politely asked if he would like to collab with me on a future God of War project. He said no. That infuriated me. So with vengeance in my heart, I went to Morn's house, snuck in there in the dead of night, hacked into his account, and I also went and looked at all of his upcoming video scripts. Top 5 changes in God of War remasters. So, naturally, I stole the script. Homie's my way out of there, and now I'm going to make this video all by myself, and upload it to his channel while shamelessly promoting mine. While reading through his top 5 changes for the remasters, I was actually kinda dumbfounded, because I came here to criticize, but goddamn, these are some pretty good takes. But just to piss on it, I decided to add my own top 5 takes. Why? Because fuck him, that's why. We'll first go through Mournville's top 5 takes, and then we'll move on to my top 5 takes. And you guys can believe me when I say that you will be beating that meat for hours after hearing our hot takes. So, let's get into the video. Starting off with Mournville's first demand, which is to be able to fully customize Kratos. Now this doesn't mean being able to customize the size of his penis or arse hair, it is to be able to customize in the combat arena of the game and have more fun in it. For example, customizing it so that you have level 5 blades moves, but you can only output damage of level 1 blades. This will allow us to have more freedom and creative control in the combat arena, while we're able to use all the attacks, but with less damage, to either make it more challenging or to create longer combos. This can even be implemented into the main campaign of the game by making it so that there's a 5th difficulty called Custom, where you can set the damage output of all the weapons and magic attacks, and you can also select the difficulty you want with those conditions. Because in God of War, when you select the hardest difficulty, Kratos doesn't get nerfed. The enemies just become stronger while Kratos remains the same for the most part, so being able to select the damage output of things to be the lowest, even when you upgrade them to the max, would be a great challenging playthrough. Even if you died more than 20 million times, it will still be fun. Moving on to his second demand, which I think is pretty good and should have been in the game sooner, to be able to disable the costume bonus effects. If you've played God of War on New Game Plus, you might know that certain costumes give you certain effects. Let's take 2 costumes from God of War 3 for example. Having the Apollo skin makes you receive only half of the damage from enemies compared to what you normally receive, but you also only deal half damage when you attack enemies. Or, if you select the Dominus skin in God of War 3, you deal double the amount of damage to enemies, all the orbs are doubled in value, and enemies only do half the damage they would do to you normally. But at the same time, the costumes do look very good, and you just want to play the game normally without any extra boosts. So being able to disable the effects should be an option to just enjoy the aesthetics. I think this is really cool because I would love to play God of War 2 remastered with epic 4K of the PS5 while wearing God armor, with ray tracing on, without having all my stats doubled. It would be amazing. Now on to Mourn's third demand, which is to update the combat arena. And he has a few points in this demand. Imagine being able to play as a sentry in the combat arena to see how all of the attacks work and stuff. That's amazing! I know it will be hard work and might not be in the game, but I just wanted to point out how being able to play as the enemies is a good idea, to learn their attacks and stuff and just enjoy it as a whole. And also, adding a combat arena to God of War 1. While Chains of Olympus and Ascension are also rumoured to be part of the remasters, it would be a really nice touch, especially in Ascension, since the combat of that game is amazing. Having a combat arena in it would be awesome. Also, some new and cool backdrops would be much appreciated. Like how Ghost of Sparta has the most amount of backdrops, unlike God of War 2 and 3. Despite the fact that God of War 2 introduced the combat arena, it has only 3 backdrops, and God of War 3 only has 2 backdrops. Why? While we're at it, can you also bring back the multiplayer of Ascension? Okay, I'm gonna level with you guys. The only thing I hate about this take is the fact that he says Ascension has an amazing combat system. Other than that, I pretty much agree. But being able to play as the enemy, nah, probably not happening. Moving on to Mourn's fourth demand, being able to disable certain attacks. We've all been in that situation where we're surrounded by minions while holding block, and then we want to attack or grab one of them at the perfect opportunity, but instead we accidentally perform some sort of attack. It wasn't really a problem in God of War 3 since it gave us iframes while performing the Hyperion Ram, but in every other game, one missed input and you will have 5 sentries taking turns on you, giving you all kinds of back shots. So being able to go into the pause menu and just disable an attack will be easier. If you're in a situation like that, you don't mess up, but that's not the only place where it messes you up. There are still certain attacks that some people hate for just how slow they are. Just between you and me, guys, I personally think Morn is just saying that because he died too many times in his 10 lives run, which he live streams, and he's just frustrated at this point. And lastly, Morn's final demand. And I agree with this before I even read it, okay? And I know you will all agree with this as well. Everyone simply has to agree on this. His final demand is to be able to skip cutscenes. For the love of God, the ass of Zeus, just add the press X to skip cutscene button. Just go to the retired Ready at Dawn and ask them. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Ta-ta, bye-bye. No! No ta-ta, bye-bye. Because now it's time for my top 5 changes for the God of War remasters. Please no one click off the video, please no one click off the video, please no one click off the video, please no one click off the video. Now, me, Micromillions, will start off with my first demand, which is to add more costumes to the games. All the games already have lots of costumes, but those are not enough. I simply speak for the world when I say we need to see Kratos in a Freddy Fazbear costume already. But what I want the most is for them to add prototype Kratos as a costume. Modders have made billions of mod for these things, alright? And it's not even hard for them. They just have to change the colour of his tattoo and skirt to blue. I know it was cut back then for reasons, but come on, it looks so cool. And also, since I talked about modders, can we also get different blade trails for different costumes? Or maybe an option to just change the blade trail colour, because it would be a cool addition to be able to change that as well. It's not part of my demands, I just wanted to point that out. My second demand is being able to customise controls, because when you play God of War 1 and then go back to God of War 3, you just pull out magic for a while until you remember that you interact with R1 in 3, not with R2. So being able to do that kind of customization shouldn't be a problem, and it can also be a fun way to play. You can purposely change the block button to R3, press L1 to jump, and attack with the D-pad, and being able to change controls is quite a common thing to do in games nowadays. Now, after my very short second demand, let's move on to my third, which is to make the treasures interactable. Now you may be wondering what exactly I mean by that. I mean the treasures menu, where you select Challenge of the Gods, view videos, or photos from the in-game art and stuff. How about making it a treasure room? When you click on it, it just sends Kratos to his treasure room, and you interact with stuff to get to the challenges or such as you want. It will be a very cool concept. A lot of old games had this concept as well, where you would enter your character's room and interact with stuff. This can very well be done with a God of War game as well, and it will be very cool. They can hide a lot of Easter eggs in it as well. Moving on to my fourth demand, which is kind of similar to Morn's cutscene skipping demand he made a while ago. My demand is to disable the stage tutorial. Like, I have played God of War 3 a billion times, but every time I kill this specific centaur, I have to look at this level, and then this platform, and then the entire room, and then I have to wait until I can control Kratos again. And it's not just this part, this happens in a lot of areas in almost the entirety of the game. And it's not just in God of War 3, it happens in almost every God of War game. I have played these games more than enough times. I know what I have to do to solve the puzzles. I can't explain how frustrating it is when I enter a room and Kratos just stops moving for a while until the game shows me what I've already done 40 billion times. I just hate it so much, it's so frustrating. I know you're trapped in there and it's not good for you, just let me progress in the fucking game! Anyway, my last demand is one thing that I think every single person will agree on. Every last one of you will be drooling all over when these words will cross your ears. My last request is to add Hyperion RAM to every single God of War game. Yes, every last one of them. See this gay run Kratos is doing? Fuck that. Add the Hyperion RAM instead. See this rampage of the fuckers? Fuck this. Add the Hyperion RAM instead. See this Walmart rampage of the fuckers? Fuck that. Add the Hyperion RAM instead. See this attack that takes 20 billion years to charge? Wait, this is actually kind of nice. But fuck that. Add the Hyperion RAM. I just want to Hyperion RAM myself into everything. I want to Hyperion RAM the man who has the basilisk. I want to Hyperion RAM the man who was tortured. I want to Hyperion RAM the man who is devious. I want to Hyperion RAM the man who wants head.
I will have head.
I want to Hyperion RAM the girl who flashes her tits. I want to Hyperion RAM the fat girl who flashes her tits. I want to Hyperion RAM the golden mask boy. I want to Hyperion RAM the Greek femboy. I want to Hyperion RAM the man with a sore throat. I want to Hyperion RAM the pussy lion. I want to Hyperion RAM Arenas, Persephone, and Lachesis from the back. I want to Hyperion RAM the man who killed my enemies, and my Hyperion was rammed. Did you hear me loud and clear? If not, I will Hyperion RAM you as well. And if you did, then make sure to check out my channel, Micromillions. and also subscribe to Mornville, since this is his channel after all. But that doesn't mean you don't have to check out my channel, which is Micro Millions, by the way. Over on the Micro Millions channel, I make content based around gaming in general. It extends past God of War, though I will always return to it because it is one of my favourite franchises of all time. Mainly my content is made for idiots, so the majority of you will fit in over there, but I think I've overstayed my welcome. I'll give Morn his channel back now. Take care, guys, and fuck you.